Senior High School On-Air Academy. Unstoppable! Delivering you quality education amidst pandemic.
To defend school opening to October 5.
Unstoppable!
Giving you accessible learning platform anytime, anywhere.
Ang klase, whatever form it is.
Comprehensible!
Buckle up and get yourself ready.
I will repeat, then you will do it later on.
Accurate!
The sphere that includes all living things.
Today, we will be talking about rational functions.
Simplify.
This is Joss speaking. How may I help you?
This is the School Radio's Senior High School On-Air
On-Air
Academy. And now, here's your new episode for
Master Baker.
Your guide in the subject, bread and pastry production. Master Baker.
Master Baker.
Hello everyone! How are you today? I hope you are doing great. Anyway, I am Mary Jean Dugo, your teacher for today's session. I believe you have already your pen, notebook, and your bread and pastry production manual with you. I guess you are all ready and excited. So, let's start! It's great to know that you're ready, but let's try to review first your lesson last time. During the last episode, you have learned how to properly store cakes in accordance with established standards and procedures. But more than that, you have also learned storage methods in accordance with product specifications and established standards and procedure. And I hope that you have applied this already for a self-check. Last episode, you were also given a quiz which will be checked today. So, prepare your quiz pods and together we will check your answers. But always remember to be honest when checking. For number 1, the correct answer is false. Number 2, the answer is also false. Again, number 2 is false. For number 3, it's true. 3 is true. For number 4, the answer is true. Again, true. Let's proceed to number 5. The answer is false. 5 is false. We're halfway through. How's your score? Let's continue then. For number 6, the answer is false. Number 6, it's false. True is the answer for number 7. I'll repeat, the answer for number 7 is true. Moving on to number 8, the answer is true. Number 8 is true. 3 is also the answer for number 9. Number 9 is true. And we're down to the last time. We'll see whether you'll get the perfect score. 10 is false. Again, the answer for number 10 is false. May I know who got a perfect or high score? I'm glad that you did well. And for those who didn't make it, you still have today to improve. You just need to listen very well. Now we're done with the review and checking of your previous quiz. So I guess we're ready to discuss our lesson for today. But wait a minute, I want you to relax first and learn from this infomercial.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Naku, ang lakas na ng hangin. Paparating na ata talaga ang bagyo. Mabuti na lang, nakita ko ang listahan ng mga dapat ihanda kanina sa Facebook ng DepEd. Ito ay ang tubig, pagkain, ID card, mahalagang dokumento, flashlight at baterya, posporo at lighter, first aid kit, kutsilyo, radyo, kumot, banig, lubid, gamit panligo, at ilang mga damit. Tawagin man kami para sa agarang paglikas, handang-handa kami. Maging handa sa anumang sakuna. Isang paalala mula sa kagawaran ng edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
And we're back with me, Teacher Mary Jean. Today's lesson, you are expected to give and identify the use of appropriate equipment according to required pastry products and standard operating procedures. Who among you love eating pastries? That's interesting. Like you, I also love eating pastries during breakfast and snacks. And I know for sure that you know the fact that pastry products vary in types, kinds, and classifications. But did you know that preparing pastry products requires no trick but adequate mastery on the process in baking? Yes, it does. And this learning episode will provide you necessary information in baking pastries. Are you excited? Then let's start! Baking has become not just a favorite pastime or hobby, but highly profitable business. Working with the bread or even pastries can be fascinating and rewarding experience for students like you. Baking is a precise skill, which calls for the exact measurement of the ingredients to achieve desired outcome. How much of each ingredient to be used can be determined using few standards measuring tools. Are you familiar with the tools and equipment needed in baking? Worry not, because we'll learn about them today. The first measuring tool is the measuring cups. Measuring cups come in two types. We have the graduated or liquid measuring cup and the dry measuring cup. Liquid measuring cup is used for measuring liquid ingredients like water, milk, oil, and other liquids using in baking. The other is the dry measuring cup used to measure dry ingredients like flour and sugar. Another measuring device is the measuring spoon. Measuring spoon is used to measure a small amount of ingredients like baking powder, baking soda, salt, and other minor ingredients. Measuring spoons are available in a variety of sizes and materials such as plastic or metals. Another measuring device used in baking is the weighing scale. The weighing scale is used to measure large amount of ingredients like flour and sugar. Weighing scales help ensure baked goods consistently turn out the same for each batch. Aside from its function in measuring the ingredients, weighing scale will also help in reducing cost, in minimizing waste, and in ensuring product standardization. Next is the oven thermometer. This device is used to measure the exact internal temperature of oven. And this is the only reliable way to know what's happening inside your oven. And not just that, oven thermometer helps to bake things more evenly. But aside from knowing the different measuring tools, it is also important to note the different mixing tools, utensils used in baking pastries. First, we have the mixing bowls. Mixing bowls come in various sizes with sloping sides to ease mixing. It can be made of battery, glass, metal, or plastic. But to give you a tip, stainless steel mixing bowls are best to use in baking. Next is the rubber scraper, also known as the rubber spatula. Rubber scraper is pliable rubber or plastic used to scrape or remove remaining ingredients from the sides of the mixing bowl. It allows you to gather every bit of dough from a board or batter from a bowl, helping make sure none of the goodness goes to waste. Pencil is wire whisk. Wire whisk is used for all sorts of things. It can be used to whip egg whites into a firm foam to make meringue, or to whip cream into the whipped cream or essentially add air into any kind of batter or substance. Another mixing tool is the wooden spoon. Before electric mixers became common, wooden spoons were often used to cream together butter and sugar in recipes such as shortbread or Victoria sponge cake. They may be flat or have a small dip in the middle. Next is the Rotary Egg Beater. From the name itself, Rotary Egg Beater is used for beating eggs or just whip cream manually. Another mixing tool is the flour sifter. Flour sifter is used for sifting and adding air to flour and another dry ingredient. Using this will help you get more accurate measurement as it breaks up any lumps in the flour. We also have the electric mixer. This is commonly used in folding, beating, and whipping food ingredients. This will help automate the repetitive task of stirring, whisking, or beating. When the beaters are replaced by a dough hook, a mixer may also be used to knead. In baking pastry products, we must also learn the different cutting tools and their functions. Always remember that all cutting tools work best when they are properly maintained. A sharp tool not only performs better, but it is safer to use because less pressure is required to cut through the ingredients. The first cutting tool is the chef's or French knives. These are all-purpose knives used for a variety of chopping, slicing, and mincing tasks. Second is the bread knife. Bread knife usually has a serrated edge, and this helps cut bread or cake without crushing it. Third is the kitchen shears. Kitchen shears are used for cutting dried fruits and vegetables, fresh herbs, and cutting pastry. To continue, fourth is the grater and shredder. It is used to grate, shred, or slice vegetables, fruits, and cheese. Fifth cutting tool is the cookie cutters. They are used to stamp out individual cookies from rolled dough. They are made of thin sheet metal or plastic that has been molded or formed into shapes. Lastly, we have the dough cutter. Dough cutter is used to cut dough during scaling. It is also called Ben's scraper. Are you still with me? Why don't you do some stretching before we continue with the lesson? Stretch your arms and legs in 3, 2, 1. Alright, there are still more tools and utensils that are also essential in your kitchen. It is important that you have the following basic tools that you will need for baking. Keep in mind that these tools are vital for you to have since they make the process more efficient and easier. They are called the Miscellaneous Tools. First one is the metal spatula. This is also called the palette knife. This is used for frosting cakes and to loosen cakes from the pan and to level the flour. Second is the rolling pin. This is used to roll out, flatten, or thin the dough or paste. It may be made of wood, metal, marble, or synthetic materials. Third is the pastry blender. This is used to cut fats into pieces to be able to coat it with flour in pie making. Fourth is the pastry wheel. Pastry wheel has a very sharp, round, nickel-plated blade attached to a handle, and it is pushed over rolled dough, making long, smooth, continuous cuts. The fifth one is the pastry brush. Pastry brush may be made of soft, flexible nylon or unbleached hog bristles. It is used for greasing pans, washes, and brushing of cake crumbs. 6 among the miscellaneous tools is the parchment paper. Parchment paper is grease-resistant, non-stick, heat-proof, quick-release coated paper and is used as lining baking pans and making piping cones for decor work. And lastly, we have the wire cooling racks. Wire cooling racks are used to cool baked products and for glazing and confectionery works. But wait, cause there's more. We also have the decorating tool, which is the pastry tip or piping tubes. These are plastic or metal tubes attached at the tip of the pastry bag to achieve the desired design when piping out icing. Wow, that was a jam-packed information, right? To summarize, there are different tools and equipment that we need to familiarize ourselves with before baking. And what are these? Very good! Aside from the different basic tools of baking, we also have the mixing tools, measuring tools, cutting tools, miscellaneous tools, and decorating tools. Knowing these tools and utensils will make baking a wonderful and task fun. And it's totally cool, right? But it would be cooler if knowing that you have understood our discussion for today. To check on that, we'll have a quiz after this infomercial.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
Mari, ba't may gamit kayong radyo ngayon? Luma na yan ah!
Mare, ang radyo ay kailanman hindi na paglilipasan ng panahon. Lalo ngayon, isa ang radio-based instructions na napiling gamitin ng DepEd para maituloy ang pag-aaral ng mga bata sa kabila ng pandemiko.
Wow! Ang galing naman! Sige Mare, uwi na ako para makabili ng radyo para sa inaanak mo.
Tara na't matuto sa kabila ng pandemiko. Isang paalala mula sa DepEd at ng himpilang ito. Sulong Edukalidad!
Alright, this time we will now have your quiz. Listen carefully. I will mention a certain tool and you are going to classify the tool according to its use. Again, you are going to classify the tool I am going to mention according to its use. You can choose your answers from the following choices: cutting tool, decorating tool, miscellaneous tool, or mixing tool. Write your answer on your quiz pad. Remember to be honest because God is watching you. For number 1, we have rubber scraper. Again, number 1, we have rubber scraper. Number 2, wooden spoon. 2, wooden spoon. Write your answer now. Number 3, the item is red knife. Number 3, red knife. You may now write your answer. Number 4, grater and shredder. For number 4, grater and shredder. Write your answer. For the last item, we have spatula. Number 5 is spatula. You may now start writing your answer. That's it for your quiz. I hope you did well on that. We'll check that next episode, so keep your quiz pad. If you have queries or you need some clarifications, feel free to call or message your teacher. If you have time, you can search on the tools we discussed for additional information about them. You did a very good job. I know you have understood the lesson well, and I believe we are ready for the next lesson. In behalf of Princess T. Pascua, our scriptwriter, and our team in Radyo Eskwela sa Isabela, I would like to thank you for tuning in and staying with me until the very end. But before I end our session, I want you to understand by heart that baking is an interesting combination of science and art. Whether you follow the recipe to get the whole package or create an extraordinary task to have a new one, it comes with great patience, but it is rewarding. In the end, you'll come up with something delicious, whether it's the world's homemade bread or a creation you don't even have a name. Again, this is Mary Jean D. Dugo, your bread and pastry production teacher. See you next session. Keep safe, everyone. Bye!
Patuloy ang edukasyon para sa ating henerasyon.
Sa daan ng pagkatuto ay walang may iwan.
Kaya halina sa Radyo Eskwela.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela. Tayo na!
May bagong virus na kumakalat ngayon at naaalarma ang buong nation. Para di daw mahawa, ito ang solusyon. Kaya sundin mabuti tong instructions. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Ang virus ay nakamamatay, kaya makinig, wag pasaway. Stay sa bahay, wag nang gumala. Kung ayaw mong ikay mahawa, mag-face mask kung lalabas. Mag-vitamin C ng madalas at umiwas sa mga matatao. Mag-alcohol para sigurado. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. May bagong virus na kumakalat ngayon at naaalarma ang buong nation. Para di daw mahawa, ito ang solusyon. Kaya sundin mabuti tong instructions. Maghugas ng kamay. May bagong virus na kumakalat ngayon at naaalarma ang buong nation. Para di daw mahawa, ito ang solusyon. Kaya sundin mabuti tong instructions. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus kumakalat ngayon at naaalarma ang buong nation. Para di daw mahawa, ito ang solusyon. Kaya sundin mabuti tong instructions. Maghugas ng kamay.
Tayo na sa Radyo Eskwela.
Tayo na!
Nay, paano po kaya ako makakapag-aral ngayong pasukan? Wala naman po tayong sapat na pera upang makabili ng makabagong teknolohiya tulad ng cellphone, internet at laptop.
Anak, huwag kang mag-alala. Mayroon naman tayong radyo. Narinig ko kanina sa isang anunsyo na magagamit ang radyo sa inyong pag-aaral. Ito ay tinatawag na Radio-Based Instruction o RBI.
RBI? Ano po yun, Inay?
Ang RBI ay isang alternatibong pamamaraan na inilunsad ng DepEd upang maihatid ang mga kaalaman sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig sa radyo.
Paano po ito gamitin, Nay?
Bubuksan mo lamang ang ating radyo at hanapin ang Radyo Eskwela. Ito ay mapapakinggan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa oras ng alas 9 ng umaga hanggang alas 4 ng hapon.
Wow! Ang ganda naman yan, Nay! Excited na ako sa darating na pasukan! Isang impormasyon mula sa Kagawaran ng Edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
Wow! Adobong manok! Ang sarap naman ng ulam namin! Ang bango pa! Kainan na!
Hep hep hep! Buknoy, may nakalimutan ka ata.
Ha? Wala, kuya. Gutom na po ako kaya kumain na po tayo.
Buknoy, nakalimutan mong maghugas ng kamay. Lagi mong tatandaan, bago kumain, ugaliin nating maghugas ng kamay. Ang wastong paghuhugas ng kamay ay isang epektibong paraan upang matanggal ang bakterya at germs na lumikit sa ating mga kamay. Ito ay makatutulong upang maiwasan natin ang pagkalat ng sakit sa ating paligid.
Sige po, kuya. Uugaliin ko na po ang wastong paghuhugas ng aking kamay bago kumain. Kainan na!
Ang kalusugan ay kayamanan. Isang paalala mula sa Kagawaran ng Edukasyon at ng himpilang ito.
May bagong virus na kumakalat ngayon at naaalarma ang buong nation. Para di daw mahawa, ito ang solusyon. Kaya sundin mabuti tong instructions. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Ang virus ay nakamamatay, kaya makinig, wag pasaway. Stay sa bahay, wag nang gumala. Kung ayaw mong ikay mahawa, mag-face mask kung lalabas. Mag-vitamin C ng madalas at umiwas sa mga matatao. Mag-alcohol para sigurado. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. Maghugas ng kamay para virus mamatay. Iwasan ding humawak sa iyong mouth, nose at eyes para COVID-19 hindi na makapuksa. Mag-face mask at mag-alcohol maya't maya. May bagong virus na kumakalat ngayon